Hi guys, welcome to GameTalk Ajax against Fortuna Sittard. Not the easiest game, but we won 5-2, so people will think, no, it was a good game.
Yeah.
But there are two things about this game. There are good things and there are not so good things. That's how I view it. But Eyejax, welcome.
Thank you.
You're the one that's supposed to talk about
Hi
it.
guys, yes.
So tell us what you thought of the game in general.
I think it was very sloppy in the beginning. Once again, you saw what the problems are in the back line. Once we lose the ball up the field, they do not have the recovery speed, Blind and Schuurs, to cover up the area and chase up the attacker that's behind them. So that's a problem. Once again, even against Fortuna Sittard, it's a goal against. So against bigger teams and stronger teams in Europe, you will have problems. And this is just a sloppy play from Ajax side. And I know it's difficult because you play against a team that's with 10 men in front of the keeper. And they hope that you lose possession so they can counter fast. Mm-hmm. But you have to try and have a solution for this and cope with it. Mm-hmm. And if Blind and Schuurs are the two people behind, then there has to be a little bit of space between them. Somebody has to drop a little bit more. But they get... they get goals against them because they're just not fast enough. And we saw today Schuurs is pretty fast when running in a straight line. But when he has to turn, it takes too long.
Okay.
So
can I ask you a couple of questions already?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but just a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, just to be clear, also for the viewers, this is not an incident, right?
No.
It's not because we're playing Fortuna Sittard. They haven't won any game in the league so far.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you think, oh, we're going to play against Fortuna Sittard. We just came from the Atalanta game. There is another Champions League game waiting for us. Okay, you don't go up 100%. And you saw it also in the first half. We weren't the same as in the second half. In the second half, you saw some pressing. Mm-hmm. You saw more, eager, more players going for the ball, trying to win the ball, etc., etc. But coming back to the defensive area, what you talked about, this is not an incident because we play basically almost with the same backline, only Martinez instead of Tagliafico. Yeah. So, is this something that is fixable?
It is, but I've talked about this for many times with you in the game talks and even in extra talks, and I tweeted about it many times. And a lot of people think I'm sour about Schuurs and that I see it wrong. But the duo Blind and Schuurs, they are too similar. They both have nice passes. They do not have the recovery speed, and you have to have a duo in your central defense that complement each other. And I think they are too similar. Mm-hmm. So you have to have somebody next to him that has more speed. And because Blind is always playing, unfortunately for me, it sometimes means that Schuurs maybe doesn't play in an ideal situation. It is just a problem with the recovery speed. They are not fast enough, or Ten Hag needs to cope with it to have another player behind when they are attacking far up the field. For example, leave a back behind and let Blind go a little bit up the field so that he can make passes. But if they are both high up the field and you lose the ball, they do not have the recovery speed against fast players to chase them.
There's an interesting thing. You see the tactics of Ten Hag, especially with the build-up play. And what happens in the build-up play in general, sometimes it's different, but in general what happens is that Mazraoui, and today it was Martinez, they go pretty high up the field. Yep. And then Gravenberch is usually the one, sometimes Klaassen, but Gravenberch is usually the one that drops and become the third player from the back that can help with the build-up. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is that if you lose the ball in the attacking area, then and they counterattack, as you said, we're very vulnerable because our wingbacks are gone.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's all Blind or Schuurs.
No, I understand. We're talking tactics
It's
now.
also tactical, because they are doing the best they can. But if they get into a situation that we lose the ball up the field, and the only players you have to recover them at that moment are, for example, Gravenberch, Blind, and Schuurs. If it is a long area until they reach Onana, they just don't have the speed to recover. Yeah. And usually,
in the Eredivisie, sometimes you can.
Even against Fortuna Sittard today,
we conceded the goal.
You saw how the first goal
Well, the first goal was honestly, it was not a counter-attack.
Yeah.
It was sloppy defensive.
It was very sloppy.
From 3 players, basically.
Yeah.
And you could even add Mazraoui at the end. But honestly, I think... so who was the first one? Gravenberch. And then Martinez.
And then Klaassen.
And then Klaassen. Yeah. They could have all stopped the attacking threat.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this was very... I mean, it wasn't
but
good.
It's still the defense and how it stands when you lose the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Something fundamentally wrong with how they cope with these situations.
Yeah.
And
so we started differently than against VVV. You can see it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started also with Ekkelenkamp.
Yep.
He played the first half. He received a chance to play. Tadic got rested. Martinez was also new. And Traoré still as a striker. In general, what do you think of the performances of the new guys? So Martinez from the start and Ekkelenkamp.
I actually thought they were pretty bad, especially Ekkelenkamp. Martinez recovered during the game, but his first 25-30 minutes weren't that good. Ekkelenkamp was just very poor in the beginning. He missed the big chances we got in the first half were all Ekkelenkamp. The first one that got back from the keeper, he just kicked over the ball. There was a shot, I think, somewhere in the middle of the first half on the right side of the box. He just didn't kick it well. And at the end, he just shot one ball, I think, in front of the goal.
Yeah, he
passed it.
Yeah, passed.
So
post,
actually, he didn't play that well. And it's not a problem because he's still young. He needs his time. He needs his chances. But this was something that I do not expect from him because usually he's very lethal. And this time he just wasn't that sharp.
Do you agree that he got substituted for the second half?
No, actually no. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand Ten Hag because he was not playing well. So I understand that you substitute him to bring some new elan into the team. But he's young. You finally give him minutes because you want to rest some players. Then do not substitute him in the first half, of the end of the first half. So give him some more minutes to recover, because he's still young. Do not substitute him after 45 minutes.
Okay.
Give him some time to recover from his faults and make some more minutes. But I do understand because, in my opinion, he was one of the worst players in the first half.
Yeah.
So, two sides.
Yeah, exactly. 2 sides. I mean, this game is all about 2 sides, right? Also, taking into account the second half being different than the first half. Okay, so at the end, we won, so we should be happy.
We are happy.
We are happy. 5-2.
Yeah.
Taking the whole game into account, I mean, I said the second half was better.
Yeah.
But still in the second half, not only did we concede the goal at the end, but also there were some dangerous moments, as you said, in the counterattack.
Yeah.
Again, it has to do with tactics, according to you, or does it has to do with maybe focus from our players?
I think it's both. And don't get me wrong, it's very difficult to get your focus on against a team that you're probably gonna win, even when
they haven't won a game yet.
Even when they went up 1, I already said in the first half we will get a lucky goal probably. Something it was a penalty, and even that was lucky because the keeper hit the ball, so Klaassen could get the rebound. The second goal was a little bit lucky because it was a rebound also. It was good anticipation from Klaassen. Nothing wrong with that, but those weren't goals that were like tactical or, combination football. It was pretty sloppy. But this is because you have very crowded areas with a lot of people in it. So you cannot blame Ajax for that. It's perfect. It's okay.
All right.
I think second half was better. And even in the end, you said, was it sloppy from our side or was it tactics? I think against better teams, they finished these chances. Because Fortuna, they headed one ball at Onana. It was just like...
Free header.
Yeah, free header, but it was just like they were warming him up before the match, like you do with the keeper. Also the shots, it was right at him. So, against lethal strikers and against a Lewandowski or other players, they will just finish it. This guy from Atalanta that scored twice, Zapata, he doesn't think twice. These are goals.
Yeah.
So against Fortuna, no problem. You can get away with it. But against better teams, those are goals. So,
Okay, so we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Penalties.
Yeah.
There were a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
Moments also, but also penalties that we got. Let's just focus on the ones that we got.
Yeah.
Do you agree with all the penalties? Or were they really penalties for you?
Sometimes I'm really getting tired of VAR. You know, we cannot complain because they all are in our advantage. These decisions, but
Yeah, but you shouldn't complain about that.
no, I know I shouldn't. But sometimes if you just try to look at it objectively, it just kills the game. Sometimes it's 4, 5, 6 minutes without play. You know, then have
You
to
mean when
review
you're reviewing it? Okay.
and it kills the game in my opinion. And some of the penalties are just easy. The first one with Traoré in his back, you can give it, but if you have to review all these little decisions that usually the referee just decides it's one or it isn't, you know, it just takes the momentum out of the game. And this is something sad. We cannot complain about it because the VAR was a lot in our advantage today. But every handball, every review.
So the second penalty, right?
Yeah.
The second penalty. We had also a debate about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a rule.
Yeah.
Tadic shot the ball. The defender of Fortuna Sittard was looking the other way, but his hand just blocked the ball and it was going to go. You said...
Yeah, let's explain to the viewers what we discussed.
Yeah, so I said he doesn't look at the ball, so it's a bit harsh.
Juan actually thought during the game, isn't this the same with Mazraoui? You know, we had a moment that Mazraoui intercepted the ball in his own box and it hit his arm.
Exactly.
But the difference is, this is a shot from Tadic with a trajectory at the goal. So it would be on target when there wasn't any interference. And the ball hits the hand. If he doesn't look or he looks at it, it doesn't matter. It blocks the shot that would have gone on target on the goal. So this is the difference. Mazraoui tried to intercept the ball in his own box and it unluckily hit his arm. It's something different. This isn't a shot at the goal. And this is, I think, a rule. When it is a shot at the goal and the trajectory is at the goal, then it's different. Then it's a penalty. It's the same with the Chelsea game with Veldman, I believe, with the shot. It was the same rule. So, I still think it's sad because the game gets killed like this, but we cannot complain. It was in our advantage.
Okay. Special mention.
Yeah.
Brobbey.
Yeah.
He came in, his debut, and scored.
Actually, it wasn't a pretty good match from his side. He was a little bit sloppy. He lost the ball a few times.
But you can expect much from him, right?
No, but I gave him a 7 because when you make your debut as an Ajax player and you score, it doesn't matter what you do else. You know, he doesn't made big mistakes. He didn't do something wrong that we get a goal against or something. It was just sloppy in the combination play. But still, good for him. His debut, an other Ajax player traditionally that debuts and scores a goal. So we can expect a lot of things from him. You know, the biggest players of Ajax usually make the debut and they score. So let's hope that Brobbey can do the same.
I have a political question for you about Brobbey.
It's not my best topic, but
I just want to know what you think about it.
Yeah.
Brobbey is one of the youngsters that still haven't signed the contract. Raiola is his agent, and it's been taking quite some time. Do you think this was also maybe from Ajax side, maybe Ten Hag, thinking, you know what, I will give him a chance, let him play in the first team. Maybe this will give him a push to sign and extend his contract. Do you think this has to do something with it, or don't you think Ajax looks at it that way?
Actually, I think Ten Hag is so stubborn that he doesn't even think about these things because he just does what he thinks is best. So no, I don't think he has this in his mind.
Okay,
but it is a possibility. Maybe Overmars said, "Hey, if the possibility is there within a match and you give him some minutes, just let him." Get his debut. Right. But I wish to think that these sort of things do not happen within in football, but they obviously do.
I mean, I'm not taking away anything from him because he's been very good at young Ajax, just to make it clear. But also Taylor was good at Ajax, and Taylor didn't get his chance against VVV.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true.
So that's why I was just wondering.
Yeah, but maybe this was already agreed on that he would get some minutes because he didn't play, I think, yesterday against Almere City.
No, he did.
He did?
Taylor.
No. I mean Brobbey.
No, Brobbey was not playing yesterday.
And Taylor did. And against VVV, yes, he should have gotten some minutes because the possibility was actually there. They were
more than today.
Yeah, more than today. They were up how many goals?
a 6, 7 at a certain time. Yeah.
And today Brobbey got in when it was 2-1 still. So it wasn't in the bag yet. So and actually it was sad. It's one of the first times I gave Onana actually a lower grade, a 5. And I actually already had a 6 there because I thought, you were decent. Nothing that you did was actually bad, like big faults. But in the end, that shot...
The second goal of Fortuna Sittard?
Yeah, he should have saved that.
Okay.
It wasn't in the corner. And he had his hands against it and still went in. And it's something I didn't expect to see from the Bosch. He's one of my favorite players.
Okay.
But I still have to be critical also in that area. And this was a shot that he should have saved.
Final point.
Yeah.
Your man of the match is Klaassen.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it just to sting Papimento.
No.
All right. One thing I want to mention about this, apart from the fact that you thought he was the best player of the game, or most influential player of the game, it was also good to see Klaassen, especially in the second half, but it happened a couple of times in the first half as well, being more in the attacking area. And we know Klaassen from in the past, before he went to Everton, that he played as a number 10. Yeah. And you saw today how important he can be when he's closer to the goal, to the in the offense. My question is, we have a bit of a problem at the 10 position at the moment because we're rotating a lot. We play Promes there, we play Ekkelenkamp there, etc., etc. So far, Klaassen has been playing for us from a controlling side, coming as one of the sixes, basically.
Yeah, or maybe 8.
Do you think maybe Ten Hag should... I mean, maybe it's a bit too far-fetched because it's only one game, but maybe Ten Hag should think maybe Klaassen has much more to give us as a number 10 than as a number 6.
Yeah, I think this is sensible what you're saying. Klaassen has the trait to be a fox in the box, He's always there and he's always anticipating the situations. And this is a great quality. So you saw it today also with the second goal. The way he was anticipating while other players from Fortuna and even Ajax were almost standing still.
The second goal.
It was that trait I'm mentioning, the fox in the box trait. He's always there. He's always trying to get his momentum there. So yes, the more he can penetrate the box, the better it is for Ajax. But you also have to evaluate what we have at the other positions. So sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit to get a balance as a whole.
Yes.
And I'm more of a fan maybe if he plays a little bit more upfield because he's very dangerous always in the final third of the field.
Yeah.
But I understand actually Ten Hag's decision to maybe bring balance with him to drop him a line back.
Yeah.
So it is a possibility, but please do not let Ten Hag experiment too much the coming weeks because he's already doing a lot of experimenting.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you. It's a good position for him, and he played there in the past also at Ajax.
Okay.
So we actually pretty lucky to have a player that is multi-functional.
Okay, well, according to the Nag, we have a couple of those.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's it basically.
Yeah, I think so.
We're playing Midtjylland again in the Champions League.
Yeah.
3 points in the back.
Yeah.
But we need to improve.
Yeah, we do. But it's a long season, and don't forget, we played with a few other players today. So we do not have to be critical all the time, but it's our job, and it's our job to give our opinion, to also be critical in these situations. Yeah. And it's not those aren't big things, but they are things worth mentioning.
But we're happy.
We're happy.
Hey there, thanks for watching. A thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Subscribe so we can bring you more awesome content. Do it.